I just want to button this up.
No, quit covering for these guys. No, your media, you keep covering for these guys.
For the sake of human existence, K-Fed must not be allowed to mate with Paris Hilton. Or as I like to call her, KY. You know, when the Pope saw this picture, he changed his opinion on abortion from it's murder to, okay, but just this one.
I want to talk about Lindsey Graham and his inability to not melt down anytime he's in an interview.
You proposed legislation to ban abortion nationwide after 15 weeks, with some exceptions.
New rule: since apples look so much alike, we use stickers to identify them. Let's do the same with chirpy blondes on Fox News.
Abortion is going to be the issue of our time.
Mr. Country First picked someone who didn't know that Africa was a continent, thought it was one country. I mean, I have called this woman so many names, and people have gotten on my case for it. I called her Governor Avon lady. I called her a stewardess. The spokesmodel from the car show, Governor Yup Yup. Lots of bad names. A Category 5 moron.
The right for a woman to have autonomy over her body and her life is the issue of our time.
Or take this recent headline: TV weathercasters divided on global warming. Who gives a shit? My TV weathercaster is a bimbo with big tits who used to be on a soap opera on Telemundo.
There's a lot of things that count as civil rights.
On Friday, the Supreme Court ruled that mifepristone will continue to be accessible to Americans. Did the court get that right?
Yeah, I think what the court's going to do is send it back for a little more evaluation.
In America, we do not talk on our cell phones in the library. Oh, Jing Chong Ling Long Ting Tong. Oh. Are you freaking kidding me? In the middle of finals.
Her safety school was Hooters, by the way.
But there is nothing that comes close as to 9 months with something growing inside of you.
The government is always like Snooki's vagina. It's too big, it services too many people, and nothing good will ever come out of it.
But the issue was the drug lawfully approved? Did the FDA follow its own procedures? Chemical abortion safe? So those issues will be decided by the court.
There's damn sure nothing that comes close. If that thing inside you was put there by somebody who wasn't supposed to.
Well, somebody needs to inform me whether this sign means that this parking spot is reserved for the handicapped or reserved for the Kardashians.
The idea of mailing the drug, sending the drug through the mail, runs into a statute called the Comstock Act.
Now, they said they want to throw it back to the states, but that's not what they're going to do. They're already talking about the damn Comstock Act? Are you fucking serious?
The Supreme Court will sort all this out here in the coming months, and I'll live with whatever decision they make.
You're decomposing faster than CNN's reputation.
Talking about a world where the FDA is overruled by a judge in Amarillo. In what world did this guy go to medical school?
Well, you mentioned the Comstock Act, which I should tell our viewers bans every article, instrument, and substance, drug, or medicine, things that are used for abortion, from being in the mail. It's a very old statute on the books.
They say they don't believe in activist judges, but that's exactly what we have here.
And Paris Hilton, I know you're probably really a sweet girl, but you'll have to be euthanized.
Do you believe that the Supreme Court should use that as a way to ban this abortion pill?
Well, I think it's the law in the books, and it was placed there for a reason.
The reality is, Republicans want to ban abortion. In all cases. And they want to do it nationally. And there's not going to be any limits for rape or for incest. Lindsey wants to talk about 20 weeks. But that's already off the table. His own fucking bill is for 15 weeks.
Sending the abortion drug through the mail is a big change in how it is provided. In 2000, when it was first approved, you had to have 4 visits to the doctor. In 2021, the Biden administration said you don't have to even consult a physician anymore and send it through the mail. Is that safe? Has the FDA gone too far? Have they used the procedures in place to make such a dramatic change? That's what the court will decide.
Here in Texas, Florida, it's 6. Most women don't even know they're pregnant at that time. It's absolutely absurd.
Former President Donald Trump's campaign said this week that the Supreme Court got it right when they ruled abortion was a state issue.
All the technology in all the world couldn't save a child who's less than 22 weeks old. They talk about how, well, 15's a good compromise. Really? What if the woman develops sepsis at 16 weeks? Because there's no doctor that can pull that kid and save him. And if they leave it in, mama and the baby are gonna die, which is the law in Texas. It's what they always wanted it to be.
Senator, I've heard you say both on this issue that it is a state issue, but now you do support a federal ban. So who's right here?
Right. Well, I've been supporting a limit on late-term abortions since 2015.
Oh, you little weasel. That's not what she asked, Lindsey. You see this late-term abortion code language they like to use? It sounds really bad. They want to let them have abortions up to the moment of birth. That is some bullshit lies. People in my family fight every day to save little premature babies. Do not come at me with that shit.
I had a bill to limit abortions at 20 weeks with exceptions for rape, incest, life of the mother. 70% of Americans support limiting abortion.
The reality is, they know exactly what they're doing. Do you think they give a damn that black women are 40% more likely to have complications? You think that's because they're black? Or is it a system set up for these women to lose their children? Hell, in places like Alabama, it's like 60%.
50 of 53 European nations limit abortion at 15 weeks
But my question is it a federal issue or state?
Yeah, it's a human rights issue.
But dude, we can't save kids at 6 weeks. We can't save them at 15. The Republicans are lying to you.
Does it really matter where you're conceived? At 15 weeks, you have a developed heart and lungs. Allow abortion on demand up to the moment of birth, except the Democratic Party. What the Democratic Party proposes on abortion is barbaric.
But all their rich bitches, not gonna have a problem. They'll go to wherever they need to go to get the problem fixed. But they know they need that evangelical vote in the South. So they pull this shit.
Abortion up to the moment of birth, taxpayer funded, I think is barbaric.
What would you expect? Ron DeSantis damn sure's got a 6-week ban in his. He wants to be the one who's tough on abortion, just like he's tough on Disney. Did you know that he got married at Disneyland? Yeah. He's a hypocrite.
Well,
I think the Republican Party will be in good standing to oppose late-term abortion like most of the civilized world.
Just for the record, Roe went up to viability, but...
And this bullshit about Democrats wanting to let a lady have an abortion right up to the moment of birth, I do not even know how the fuck that would work. What the hell are y'all talking about? It's all lies.
I just want to button this up.
No, quit covering for these guys. No, your media, you keep covering for these guys.
It's a smoke screen designed to take your eye off the ball that they're stealing America. Oh, you better look out for abortions. Some girl in Omaha might get some pills in the mail.
Abortion on demand with taxpayer funded well, you paying for it, the taxpayer, up to the moment of birth. That was their position in Washington. That's the law they want to pass, and nobody in your business will talk about it. It's barbaric.
Senator, I'm not covering for anybody, and you know that. And when I have Democrats on, and I've had Democrats
just
on,
report the facts.
I have asked all of them about their position on where they believe this issue should be. My question for you, sir, is about President Trump, who you've endorsed to be president again. Is he right in saying that this issue should be a state's issue?
He said yesterday, I think at his speech in Iowa, that he opposes late-term abortion.
They actually talk beyond birth, after birth, executing the baby.
Here's what I believe, that anybody running for president who has a snowball's chance in hell in the 2024 primary is going to be with me, the American people, and all of Europe.
Should wearing dresses and skirts be illegal for men in public? If so, should wearing pants for women be illegal in public?
While you're paying attention to the poor little 14-year-old girl in Omaha who had to get him through the mail because her daddy raped her. While y'all aren't giving a fuck about her, the Republicans are stealing it all.
Saying late-term abortions should be off the table. 70% of the people oppose late-term abortions. I am confident over time that's where our nominee will be.
They're damn sure gonna try, but I'm not gonna let them.
I welcome this debate.
Okay.
I welcome this debate.
I'm Zechariah, Lone Star Liberal. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. Like and subscribe. Really helps out my channel, especially if you comment, like, subscribe. You know, tell me to go to hell. Tell me how I'm wrong. Give me a list of reasons I'm wrong and ways that it's okay to screw over the 14-year-old girl who got raped by her father and is trying to abort the baby before it's born with one arm coming out of its fucking forehead. Or God forbid, what if it's born trans? I'm Zechariah, Lone Star Liberal.
Also, the contestant who resigned from the Miss USA pageant because it now allows trannies must admit that almost all beauty pageant contestants kind of look like trannies.
Y'all didn't think about that, did you?
Well, if you're asked during a beauty pageant to give an example of a movie with a positive female role model, as Miss Ohio was last weekend, and your answer is Pretty Woman, the story of a whore who gets saved by a horny millionaire, it's okay if your talent is tying a cherry stem with your tongue.